click the record button, and then say, yo, what up? How's it going, man?
Going really good. Happy to be on here with you again.
Glad to have
Congrats on
you.
your big win recently.
Say again?
Say congrats on your big win recently.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. So we've got Ojiro 2 underwater. What's going on with this deck? Hit me with the elevator pitch. What do we got here?
So I have spent way more time than I probably should looking at the next set of cards, trying to find what sounds the most fun to play. And I do love this Ojiro character, and I fell in love with the water symbol on him as soon as I read Frozen Slash. Pretty much everything else in this deck came out of trying to make Frozen Slash with Ojiro work.
Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So what's the goal of the deck, Doctor? What do you need my help with?
Honestly, I just really value your opinion on pretty much everything in this game and wanted to see what I could do to make this idea better from a more competitive standpoint.
Okay, I'm into it. I am into it. So I haven't done a ton of building with Ojiro, but I am a big fan of the things that Ojiro has going on with him, and I've certainly had my ass beat by Ojiro a bunch on stream, right? I think he's one of those characters that if he finds the gas, he's as good as Jiro is at. If you've got the stuff, you've got the stuff. You just nuke them from orbit, which feels very, very good as the Ojiro player. But he is a 6 size character, so like sometimes he's got to struggle with it. So I'm doing a little looking real quick. Keep talking. You're good.
I was gonna say he definitely can struggle getting the stuff. That's why I liked a little bit of the range package. Have Frigid Heat Waves to try and help get some later. Student of the Art with his ability to just pick up a card is gonna make him feel like a 7-hander half the time.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's very, very good.
Just feels like this could bring a lot of pressure.
I agree. Just doing a little looking. 1 second.
Of course.
Looking at what we missed on the cutting room floor.
Probably only key cards and important things.
Probably, right?
I definitely can get tunnel vision.
So let's talk about it. All right. First and foremost, the cards that I added were Prone to Dry Eyes. Actually, let's talk about the attacks first. I'm so sorry. I added in Cheerful Uppercut as the only attack. I think this card is incredible in Ojiro. It's a great leadoff. It's a 6 for 5 on a 5 diff, and it's also like insane on defense, right? But you've got Giant Ice Wall and Ice Storm and Frigid Heat Waves all competing for that low attack slot. So I don't necessarily know what to put in, but like if you feel like Giant Ice Storms are not quite getting there, or you don't like how Giant Ice Wall is interacting, if you've got like too many high blocks, right? Hold on, let's take a look. Pew, pew, pew. Wow, your block sounds are beautiful. Maybe Cheerful Uppercut could go somewhere in the deck. It's just an option. Otherwise, I think you kind of nailed the attack lineup for the things that you're going for. I think Frozen Slash is great. I think Tongue Whip and Tape Stream Jab are fine exclusively because your character slams stats on them. Giving your Tape Stream Jabs +3/+3 is just like really, really good. Going Grasping Tape Toss, giving it +1/+1 into Tongue Whip to add the card into their card pool, give it the 2/2. Oh, sorry, not sorry. Giant Ice Wall into Whip into Jab, picking up Whip is very, very good. It's very, very good. Like that 4 attack combo says that like their entire stage is committed if they're trying to interact with you. It hits like an absolute truck. It's super, super good. Man, it feels really, really rad. As long as you can find the gas to kill them. Let's talk about the foundations. Class 1A lineup. What's going on here?
Let's see. Foundations. Where we at?
or assets. I'm sorry. I am live streaming
Oh,
on Discord. Are you watching that live stream?
I do have you on the Discord as
Okay,
well. I'm just bouncing back and forth on the list, but I do see that you
love
got
it.
the list on Discord.
Uh,
So the
class
class
lineup.
lineup,
What are you afraid
that
of
is
here with class lineup?
uh so it's less of a specific that I'm afraid of and more that having an asset that I can put out there to commit down a foundation just kind of adds to the aggression in Ojiro.
Sure.
It's not that different from adding another stun to something, only it doesn't take up a foundation slot. It's only a one of in here because I don't think it's needed. It's just really cool, unique to get out there.
Yeah.
And I actually think it works even better with the character I have in the sideboard at Backdraft, who is my option if my aggro is not getting in and I have to go defense. It's switching to Backdraft, throwing in the second class lineup and really slowing them down.
Sure, I dig that. Yeah, that's fine. I think this card is going to be totally dependent on what does the meta look like, right? I think that Death, Evil, and Void are going to make a bit of an appearance just because of a special like Death and Evil has like a brand new archetype in the game, and so they get to like play different things and cool things. Sports Festival Stadium, sell me on this card.
So Sports Festival Stadium was probably the most recent ad that I've got. In fact, that was like the last time going over it. Wanted to put it in for two reasons. One, I wanted to have an option that is a terrain to interrupt anyone else who's trying to use terrain, whether it's running against opponents with chaos who are running the one that lets them get bonuses to their check or free momentum.
Right.
Because unless I misunderstand, there's only one terrain allowed on the field. So if they have one, I play one, it gets rid of theirs.
You're totally right. No, that's correct.
And the reason why I sit on this terrain specifically is just because if I'm going to try and be aggro and try and push as much attacks as I can with Ojiro, then I'm getting the extra, life loss is good. But in addition, if they block one, then I'll kick their card out, but I get a little bit of draw power out of it.
I think that you're correct in playing Force Festival Stadium, and I think the number one reason to play it you didn't even bring up, and that is this card beats Faith Shield, and Faith Shield does a very, very good job at stopping the cool thing that your character wants to do, which is look at all the beautiful face-up cards in your card pool. So Force Festival Stadium definitely does that. This card beats Faith Shield. I think it should be a one-of, and you should sideboard any other copies that you wish to play, strictly because you're a 6 hand size character, and that if after a player takes damage, they lose health, you're going to be blocking with your face a lot, and you're giving your opponent +1 damage on every move. On every move, you're giving them +1 damage. Yes, you're also getting +1 damage, which is cool, which is awesome. But Sports Festival Stadium kills them just as much as it kills you. And so we want to make sure that, like, when we play it, we don't see too much of it. It should only be useful in the times that it is useful for that response, right? Commit -1 speed to all their attacks for the rest of this turn. Draw 1 card is not a very good exchange rate, right? It's actually not very good, right? Especially because like we're only playing 3 throws, and so like we can't even get like the chip damage in when they block the Frigid Heat Wave. Like we don't even get the momentum off of it. This card should be a one-of. I'll stop that.
No, that does make sense.
Let's talk about the foundations that I added. Prone to Dry Eyes. I can get rid of my cringe foundations to make all my moves essentially Sports Festival Stadium. Cheerleader is just a beautiful defensive piece. We do use momentum in this deck for Giant Ice Wall, Ice Storm. And this card doesn't, right? Yeah, Giant Ice Wall and Ice Storm. But we don't need momentum. It's not a key piece inside of our deck, and so having Cheerleader for a bit of disruption / defense is very good. Honorable Forfeit, I think, is really good in your deck. At probably like a 1, maybe a 2 of, because commit after I've played 2 cards, make those cards not count as progressive once is very good in a character that only wants to play 3, maybe 4 attacks per turn and clears as progressive for one of them. This card is very, very good in the water deck. Ice Gliding is not in your deck, and it's one of the best commit do a thing cards. Tape's a really good one. Desperate Times is a really good one. Frozen's really good, and then Irrefutable's just not in your deck at all, right? Like I think all 5 of these cards are like really Ice Gliding, Tape, Frozen, Irrefutable are like mandatory to be inside of your deck, and then like Desperate Times is like a take it or leave it esque card, you know?
started worrying because I was looking at Ice Gliding and Irrefutable originally.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason why I didn't put them in is because I wasn't sure how many foundations I wanted that had commit effects to require
Sure.
between already running like Rescue Completed, Creepy Realization.
Yeah.
I'm going to be needing those to try and push that third to fourth attack.
Totally.
I didn't know how much that would leave me exposed to do so.
I love it. I think that's totally fair. I think dropping in from above is probably not that great, honestly. Because if they didn't block early, they are definitely blocking late. And so it being replaced with something like Desperate Times is probably just going to, or Frozen is going to be more helpful than whatever dropping does, I think. Giving all of your moves stun 1 is better than giving all your moves +1 damage. And your character that already slams damage on everything. Giving Tongue Whip +1 damage doesn't kill them more. Committing an extra resource does.
I definitely can see that.
I love it. I'm going to put this in your sideboard so it stays on your table. But we are going to put in the triple frozen just to replace that. Real quick, what's this number got to be at? What's the goal there?
The number of cards
in the deck.
Or, sorry, which number were we talking about?
62. You got 62 cards in your deck at the moment. Hold on, let me press the refresh button. We have 61 cards in the deck at the moment. How many, because I took out one of the Sports Festival Stadiums. How many cards do you want the deck to be? Currently, we've got 21 attacks.
Normally, I keep my decks at about 60 to 65, depending on how many assets and action cards are in, but it's normally close to 40 foundations and 20 attacks.
Love it. Love it. Right now we're at 21 attacks, and I think that's a totally fine number for Ojiro. I think that's fine. The more aggressive we're allowed to be with our deck, the better. To the point where like I could easily see us putting up like an extra Ice Storm because it's just like a 4 diff, right? Okay, so let's look at the options that we have. First off, let's look at our difficulties. 18 spams in our just under half. I think that's a fine number. The question is are things like surviving the final and feeling cute better than Desperate Times? What are your thoughts?
Surviving the final, I liked more than Desperate Times, only because at least when I play locally, there isn't a ton of draw power that I get to respond. Like I find myself playing Desperate Times, and half the games I don't even get a chance to use its response. Where they survive in the finals, I'm actually getting was each turn they attack.
Love it. Makes sense to me. And you think it's better than feeling cute of the Destroy for +1 speed?
That was more of an experiment. I know Ojiro's got his own pumps already, trying to get +1 speed, +1 damage, eventually +3/+3.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if having the option to clear myself out of deadlock while getting just one more speed might push it over the top.
It's a different flavor of Frozen, but I don't hate it. Right? It's just doing a separate thing. This increases the speed number. This increases this is stun 1, right? Essentially the same thing. Just depends, 4. Count them 4 first villain encounters. What's going on here?
That has become one of my absolute favorite foundations when running a ranged package. I like being able to, if I'm playing that very first one with Ojiro, it's only getting +1/+1. This brings it up to +2/+2 and makes the next one one easier to play. So if I do need to run, a Frigid Heat Wave and a Giant Ice Wall, I can still play that second one on the 5.
Love it.
Plus, it gives me one of the scariest deadlocks in the game, especially when I'm already running Tongue Whip and Tape Stream Jab. They're just not going to go to 11 foundations against that.
True. So here, I not looking at everything else, I love the one of making a stand. I think the momentum disruption is very cool, and the damage is like neato, right? This is good. It's done, right? No. Maybe we could get away with making... Hold on, what low blocks? How would you feel about instead of making a stand, would we put in the Irrefutable instead?
I'd be willing to try it.
I think Irrefutable is nuts. Irrefutable could be on a watch list because of just how good it is. Whatever card in your deck, right? If we took an exact mirror match took an exact mirror match, right? And I was playing against you. This card says that any card in your stage that I'm afraid of, I'm now no longer afraid of, right? Yo, Sports Festival Stadium, I'm afraid that card's gonna to kill me. I'll seal it with Irrefutable. You don't get to use that card. I'm gonna face shield your moves, right? This card is just so exceptionally strong, and the fact that it says remove seal and asset or foundation, I mean, this card's gonna be insane for the rest of its life, to the point where, like, if I thought we could get away with playing more copies, I would, but that would just increase this number, and I already want to increase it by at least one more, because I want to put in one copy of Cheerleader. I think you're gonna love Cheerleader. I think Cheerleader's gonna be so tight when you see it. Besides that, though, like, you easily could, like, either put the Irrefutables in the sideboard or put the Todoroki card that I cut and didn't put in your sideboard, like a jobber. I'll go find it, I guess. Go do my job. Lame. Yeah, we're rolling, we're scrolling. Making a Stand is the name of that card. Yeah, you can just put Making a Stand in your sideboard and feel fine, or Irrefutable. I think you just like figure out which one of those two cards you like.
I guess that's right. See how the meta shapes out.
Correct. And the last card I want to put in your main board is this Cheerleader. Boop. I want to put in one Cheerleader. Response after they play a move, it gains flash, is incredible. Imagine how good that is versus you, right? You've got your your cute little 3-attack package that you want, and you want to, like, play an attack, pick up the 4th, and then play it. What if I flash the 3rd one? You don't have another attack in your hand. My Cheerleader not only said that you didn't give the +3/+3, but you also didn't pick up the card with Ojiro. That's nuts. That's insane. That skips your turn. Right? I think there's a lot of interactions that just, like, give this thing flash can give, to the point where if you wanted to put this up to a 2 of, I think you would feel good doing so. But I think playing it at a 1 of to start is totally fine. Keeping your count nice and low says that we'll see more attacks a little earlier, trying to play an aggressive deck. You'd also just play more Cheerleaders in the sideboard as an option. I think that card's going to be very, very influential in the decision making that you have on defense, right? I smack them with a grasping tape toss. I build down Cheerleader and look at them and go, if I don't want to die to this thing, I won't. I just won't die to your Detroit Smash or whatever, Your Frigid Heat Wave, it's not drawing 2 cards. Sorry, man. You get to play with the 6 that God gave you.
Makes a lot of sense. I like that.
Hell yeah. The big things that I've left out of the list are the honorable forfeits and the ice glidings and the tape, right? These are all defensive cards. If you feel like you're getting pushed on too hard, like if your opponent is just like hitting you too much, you easily can take out the class 1A light up. Just put it. Oh, excuse me, so bad. Just put in a couple ice glidings, put in a couple tapes. Figure out what that looks like. Maybe take out the creepy realizations, right? You're already hitting hard enough. You don't necessarily need to hit harder. If people are playing like big, huge swings, big pokes, as opposed to big, long chains, there's that. Thoughts?
Really like what you brought up, especially with Cheerleader. Extra glad I came into this.
Love it. All right, man. Well then, yeah, I think you brought me a very good, very well oiled deck. I'm glad I could tinker with it just a little bit for you. With that, man, stay on the line long enough for me to shoot you your list, and you have a good rest of your night, okay?
You got it. I'll be here as long as you need.
Perfect. All right. Bye.